Welcome back to Tiny Blue Games. My name's of course Csaw or Chris, and today we're talking about Final Fantasy XIV in 2022. And this is the third and final intro I'm going to record because I think I nailed it. I haven't made a video in a long time. I've just been doing live streams, and live streams is more of a casual intro where you're just kind of like, oh, people in chat, hey, what's going on? It's not as rehearsed, and let's just say I was a bit rusty today. There were some weird intros coming out of my mouth. But yeah, we're talking about the crystalline oh my god. As I was saying, we're talking about the Crystalline Conflict, I believe is how you say it. I mean, it's a conflict, we're fighting people, and it's Final Fantasy, so they had to fit crystal into the name. I mean, really, there's crystals all over the place in this game. But yeah, so Crystalline Conflict is how I'm going to say it. If I'm saying it wrong, you can tell me in the comments, but there's going to be more important things that you're going to tell me I'm doing it wrong once you watch these videos, so... Some of these went real bad. There's some things I did not know I was supposed to do, or some skills I did not know I had until at least game 7 out of the 7 games I played. But yeah, we're going to get into it. So just on ranked matches, I originally wanted to do just a first impressions live video of me doing my first match, but I got absolutely stopped, and it ended up being like the quickest round of PvP I've ever done. So I said, okay, let's do a few more of these, and I think the best way to do this video is doing kind of a thoughts after the fact. So that's how we're going to go through it. We're going to talk about the good stuff, the bad stuff, and the stuff I probably did wrong. But yeah, let's start with the good stuff. The absolute best thing is that they're adding new PvP content to the game. Like, the fact that they're adding new PvP content is huge. I mean, imagine if World of Warcraft added Battlegrounds still. Like, imagine that. Imagine if, like, you know, it was an expansion release called Dragonflight or something, and they were like, hey, dungeons, raids, and battlegrounds. It would be amazing. And I know it can't happen for whatever reason. It just can't. So I'm happy that Final Fantasy is actually going to do that for us. But yeah, the content itself is so good. It's so fun. It's a 5v5 kind of fast-paced payload game where you're just going in and causing some destruction is the best way I can put it. It was... I don't know if it's beginner-friendly, but the fact that the matches are so quick, it kind of like... If you do real bad, it's not like you've wasted people's time for 30 minutes or something. At worst, it's going to be like 5 minutes, and they're not going to have to see you for a while. The other thing here is that the queues are really quick, and this is maybe just because it's a new game mode and people really want to do it right now, but it's been great. I just open it, I queue for it, I play 5 minutes of a game, I get into the next one. It's real snappy that way, and it's kind of my favorite thing about arenas in WoW is that, you know, you can have some really bad games, but if you're getting out of them and into a new one really quickly, it feels real nice. It's kind of like there's always that next match to look forward to. I can see it being one of those things where like friends are playing and they're like, okay, just one more, and then all of a sudden it's like 3 a.m. or something like that. So I think that's one of the best parts of it. In terms of the actual PvP combat, so they did some changing to the skills, and I don't really know how the Dark Knight PvP skills were before the change, which is maybe the best because I'm just coming into this fresh. Yeah, I would say the things I use the most are the skills that I think everyone has. The bubble around you that like protects you from stuff. I think it's called Guard. There's a heal that takes some mana, and then a potion that heals me. It's kind of weird because those are like the most important parts of my kit, it feels like. And everyone has those, which is interesting. But also, like, I guess the best way they could balance things, I don't know. I'm just going back and forth, you know, this versus WoW, this versus other PvP games. I'm always wondering what the best way to balance things in, but maybe having that common element is the best way to do it. I'm kind of getting all over the place in this, but all to say, I learned how to use these 3 skills pretty early on, or at least the guard and the heal. I think the fact that the potion gives me full mana and full HP wasn't something I realized right away, and the fact that it was a 4-second cast time was like, when am I going to do this in combat? But as you'll see in these later matches, I'm constantly going behind walls and like trying to quickly drink down this potion mid-fight when my teammates are dying on point. And to be fair, I'd say I'm the one thing I do well here, and this maybe comes out of Overwatch, is no matter how bad I am at hitting people with my sword, I can stand on a point and just try and stay alive. And that's what I bring to the team. If anything, I am a distraction. And it at least does that until I get absolutely destroyed. So, okay, let's talk about the maps. So they're pretty small maps, and I thought there was only one for the longest time. I kept getting the floor is lava, like these big bomb things. I got it over and over again. I was like, okay, they added one map. That's fair. But then I did some research because, I wanted to see if there was something that I was doing so bad that I couldn't even talk about this yet. And as it turns out, there were two things. There was the fact that there's a second map, and I was like, okay, I probably should go play that before making a video. And number two, apparently you could use your limit break in PvP, which I was not at all doing ever. And that was a pretty interesting thing. You'll see that in Game 7. That's what I finally figured out. I don't know if I just missed the skill every single time I was reading through the PvP skills, but I didn't have it on my bar, and then I read that you could do limit break, so I brought the PvE version of the limit break onto my bar, and obviously that didn't work, so I eventually found the right skill. I'll put some footage in. The 7th game, I limit break on some people, and it feels pretty good, and it made me understand why, when I was facing all of these other people, did it seem like they had these wild skills that would all of a sudden one-shot me. And I was like, huh, that seems a little powerful, but now I understand. It's like their ultimate. And it's a really cool way of integrating, the limit break system that's already in Final Fantasy into that PvP. And maybe we already had this in PvP and I just wasn't using it before, which, I don't know, this video is going to be such a shameful thing for me in so many ways, but we're doing it. I promised myself I'd make a PvP video, and here we are. I figured it out. That's the important thing. So I talked about the floor is lava map. Pretty cool. I think it's pretty fun because there's a really intense moment, right, where there's floor that's lava. There's, I think, these buffs that you're supposed to get, though I really just focused on not dying, and it makes for a really intense period. And I think it's about halfway through the match, or near the end. So things are already pretty heated, and it has this really climactic end. The other one is this windy, the sky is danger. The floor is lava, and the sky is danger. Those are the names of the maps. The Sky is Danger map is nice because it's more open. There's these jump pads that you can kind of swoosh over in. And then every so often, I'd say maybe every minute, every 2 minutes, there's a big windstorm and you get thrown into the sky unless you're standing in this weird chocobo bubble, but also only one person can get it, even if you're on the same team, which it allows people to hurt your own team members. And if there's anything in PvP that you need, it's a way to hurt your own team members. So I'm happy that that's there. Or if you use guard, I was actually clever enough to see everyone else put this on, and I was like, okay, something's about to happen, and I did that. So floor is lava, sky is danger, both very fun maps. I think there's only 2, unless I've just not found them and only played these 2 matches over and over again. There's only 2. But yeah, let's talk about the rewards. So you queue in, you lose as you do in PvP, and you get some XP. You also get some XP for a reward track, which is excellent. They really thought it through. They were like, let's put PvP in the game, and let's also make people want to do it for some reason. And weirdly enough, those 2 things together makes a pretty fun, gameplay loop. And I'm happy. I'd imagine once you get to the end of the reward track, because it seems like there's an end, you might see a bit of drop off in terms of how many people are participating in PvP. That being said, there's also a ranked version of this, and that might keep people engaged forever. I mean, ranked arenas in WoW, I'm not good by any means, but I love them. I love seeing, the nights that I do really well or get really lucky and end up gaining a bunch of rank, and then the next nights when I go and crash it back down. That's some of my best WoW memories, which is kind of sad to say, but I'm excited to do that. Now, I didn't want to do it today because I just fully admitted that I didn't know I could limit break until game 7 out of 7 here, and tell me if you'd like that on your ranked team in this game or not. But I would say it's something in the future. I think what could be fun is eventually doing just a nice PvP stream where people can, in the nice way that you all do in stream chat. Give me some tips on how to play in PvP and how to use the Dark Knight. I think that could be good. I think it could be fun to watch. It could be chaotic, but it could be good. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I missed anything, but that's my thoughts on PvP, or at least my initial thoughts. I know it's not a live reaction, but I wanted to get in there, talk about it. Oh, I should talk about, the actual game modes some more. I said it was payload. I said it was a small map, but it's 5v5, which is great. I did do the arenas, or I forget what they're called in Final Fantasy. Way at the very start, I tried it, and I think it was a 5v5 format as well. But since then, I've pretty much only done frontlines, which in terms of XP and doing one per day is an absolute must. In terms of me feeling impactful in PvP is pretty much always me just dying to a clump of both enemies' teams, and, just there was no hope. So the fact that it's 5v5, and sometimes in these modes I've even gone in like just one person on point against the 5 people and survived for like a few seconds, it feels a lot more impactful, and I have a lot more fun with that. So I think the 5v5 is a lot of fun. I think the size of the map with the 5 people is a lot of fun, and I think the game mode's fun. It keeps, when I compare it to Frontlines, or when I compare it to most Battlegrounds in World of Warcraft, there's a lot of downtime in those games, because either there's a flag you need to defend, or a capture point that you need to have some defense nearby, or something like that. But here, and you're pretty much supposed to be on the payload. There's not a ton of other good things you can be doing. Maybe you're the odd Lalafell behind the corner that's using a potion or something like that. But most of the time, if you're on the payload, that's what you should be doing. So the fighting is just intense, and it's always happening. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. I want to know your thoughts on the new PvP mode in the comments below. And as I'm sure you've already all done, point out all of the things I've done wrong and try and make me a better PvP player so we can do a PvP stream. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.